Great. Good afternoon. Assalamualaikum. Let's begin by praying together according to each one's faith. This peace is it. Let's pray together. Right. Thanks for having me. Today is meeting number 5. Am I right? Is it 5? Yes, 5. And this is gonna be maybe gonna be the last or not the last, I think. So let me just say that for the next week, meeting number 6 and meeting number 7, we will conduct the meeting in hybrid. So if you prefer to stay at home, stay at your boarding house, online from your boarding house, it's fine. But if you choose to be here, come to the lab, I will be here for the next week and 1 week after the Eid break. So meeting number 6, number 7, you can be online if you want. Okay.
Yeah, question. Why so? Is it common for other courses as well?
No, it's not. It's optional. But I chose to do that because maybe some of our Indonesian friends would like to go back to their hometown for preparing for the Eid festival, because in our culture, especially Indonesia, because you will not find this in Middle East. In Middle East, usually they prefer to have a big festivals for the another Eid, another holidays. But for Indonesia, this holiday is kind of the Chinese New Year for us. So we gather with our families, and then some of them may even go to their big families, meeting the grandmother, grandfathers. So they need to go out of town. And usually, I don't know. Do you have any plan to invite your parents to come to Indonesia, have some trip?
First, wanted to go here, especially since my father was born in Jakarta.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, so that's the reason you come to Indonesia for this exchange. Uh,
Needs to go.
back and forth, yeah. Some of your classmates, I mean, the international friends, because the yesterday's class also was participated by some international friends. I'm not quite sure whether they are from the same university with you or not. Like Josie, Remy, Lucy, Sebastian. Ah, yeah, Remy is there with his new hairstyle. So some of them would like to have a agenda for next week. So I give the opportunity to be more flexible with you.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So today, the agenda will be talking about a feedback cycle. Feedback is actually part of this fundamental psychology of interaction. Oh, let me share the screen. Speaking of this topic, the feedback cycle is going to be part of this fundamental psychology of interaction. The definitions, the examples are pretty well given in the design of everyday things, the book by Don Norman. Unfortunately, the book is not here, but if you access the Midas Classroom, you can find the books here if you want. Okay. Again, I strongly suggest you to read that book, because that's the holy book for HCI scientist and designer. And but I will not kind of giving you one directional presentation materials. I prefer to have you to explore yourself after this. Try to use GPT and let's have some discussion about this topic, so it will be better for your understanding. Okay. Oh yeah, but by the way, before we move to this feedback, I think I will need to visit this first because I told you last week to find to form this, right? To write down what do you see in your theme of project, the problems domain that you chose already in the first meeting. So that should be something there, some devices, some uh, parts of your solutions that can be analyzed in terms of the affordance and the signifiers. I would like to hear that part. I know that maybe some of the things will be kind of imaginary because your solution is yet also imaginary, and I do not demand you to manifest that by the end of this semester. It's just a matter of prototype, matter of concept. That's fine. But as long as you can defend your solutions and prove that, or at least can give some strong argument that those solutions will help mitigating or solving the problems, then that's it. That's the goal of this course, right? Okay. So where's Fauzan? It's gonna be his turn. Okay, then maybe I will give the first opportunity to the last submitter. So it's gonna be Risky first. Actually, it's a presentation slide. Sure, if you want to share, or maybe you can just use the Zoom meeting and then open your microphone. That will be better. So your findings will be also in the recording. Wait for your connection. Okay, I receive you. So firstly, do not join the audio, or if you join the audio, that's fine. But please mute your speaker and mute your microphone as well. Okay, Risky. Let me see. Let me see. This is my setting. Okay, go ahead, Risky. Wait. I need to see. Oh, not yet. If it is audible, it should be like this, and you can see it there as well. Can you see that in your participant list? Okay, so that's fine. Please use this microphone instead. You may start sharing your screen. Okay, so here my prototype is a coding copilot, and probably before we jump to the affordance and signifiers, so this is the examples that I gather from the internet. So I don't create it from scratch. So I just search for the reference for the what it should be look like for the UI design. And so maybe the first we can jump to the affordance. In here, I think I'm not really sure my understanding about affordance. So
I think affordance is like the function, what the user can do to the product. So based on my understanding about the affordance, here I can conclude six affordance for the Copilot. The first one is the chat tab to ask Copilot. So maybe we can see the example. So the first affordance is the chat tab to ask the Copilot. So this is the example what the design look like. So we can ask the Copilot inside the chat tab. And then the second one is the prompt input field with submit button. So I think this is also a functionality because the user needs to give a prompt to the AI so that it will respond uh, with the code. So yeah, this is the example for the prompt input. And then the second one is generated code that can be copy. So what it means is that when the AI give a response, especially if it's a code, there should be like a functionality. Example like this one, there should be a functionality to copy the code. Like if you know in ChatGPT or Gemini, there should be like a icon for paste button right in this top right corner. And also the fourth affordance here is the auto completion feature. So I think this is also affordance because it gives a functionality to the user for autocomplete the code. Like this is the example. Like the AI gives some auto completion for the code. And then also the fifth one is auto generate code given command instruction. So the AI can also generate a code when the user give a comments of instruction. So given this command instructions, the AI can generate the code like this is the example. And then the sixth one, uh, fix the code or explain the code by selecting the lines. So this is the example. I don't think I'm not really sure if it's really in a Copilot, the feature of Copilot, but I seen this in this internet where we can select these lines of codes, and then there should be like this floating button appears that we can click, and then we can select if we want to fix or maybe to explain what the code does, or maybe to analyze if there's any some bug or vulnerability for the code. So that's for the affordance that I found. And then the signifiers. So here again, I'm not really sure my understanding for signifiers. I think like signifiers is what is the visual so that it will show the users uh this is the features that we can do uh with the affordance. So the first one is chat tab button to open the chat. So if you want to open the chat window, so there should be like this button, this tab button appears. So this will signifies that okay, we can go to the Copilot and we can have a conversation and give some prompts to the AI. And then the second one is prompt hints and square borderline indicating a prompt field. So we can see from in this tab chat uh, because we can give some input prompt to the users to the AI. We there should be like this sign here so that it indicates that this is a text input prompt input. So the indication is there is a hint here as a question or type for comments, and then there's like these square borderlines, so the user will know. So this is the text input or prompt input. And then the third one is a paste button on the AI generated code signifies the copyable code. So yeah, just like what I explained before, maybe just like in ChatGPT or Gemini, when it responds with the code, there should be like a button, but in here I don't see the example. So yeah, usually there should be like a button in this top right corner so that user can click and then it will copy to the clipboard. And then the fourth one is grayish code. It signifies that the code is autocomplete code. So this is the example. So in here, the signifiers that this is the autocomplete code is, as you can see, there's a uh, gray code in here. So the user will know, oh, this is the autocomplete code. The user can decide whether they will use this autocomplete code or not by just looking at this code because it's in grays. And then the fifth one is the commented instruction, signify that AI should generate the code. Uh, in this one, I'm not really sure if it's a signifier or not. So the signifier here is that by user giving some comments, instruction in here indicates that it asks the AI to generate the code. So given this given this sign, like the comment of instructions, so the AI can automatically generate the code from this comment instruction. And then the sixth one, a floating button of Copilot appears after selecting the signify. It can fix or explain the selected code. So it basically means this one after we select the code, uh, it gives some signifiers, which is this. This is a floating button that the user can click, and then the user can select to fix or explain, or maybe just analyze this code. So I think that's all for what I have found for the signifiers.
Okay, thanks. Before I give Rizky some comments, maybe some of you would like to give some comments first. His reports. Go ahead. Do you think the examples given here are correct, right? Why for you? You're not confident.
Uh, because my understanding of this for the signifiers, I don't think it's a correct. It's it's
Okay.
correct.
Hopefully, it's gonna be better today.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you help me? Can you help Rizky to figure out what things that should be fixed in here? There's some misunderstanding actually. Starting with the affordance, maybe. Do you still remember what is the definition of affordance? And how should we actually express the affordance in sentences? Do you still remember? Can you give the microphone?
Well, I had just written down that affordance are features to help users with, and the signifiers would be help to let the users know that your affordance are available.
Okay. How did you get that? Is that
I
my
think I wrote it down on a previous lesson a bit too late, where I had to improvise what you said,
Right.
and this came out of it.
Okay, for the signifiers is correct. For the affordance, there's some additional sentence to be there to make it more accurate. What does Risky provide on this presentation slides are actually features, right? This is features already. So if you follow this definition, it's correct. But affordance should be more than features. I told you that when we talk about interaction, I'm sorry, when we talk about software or a product, there will be functions and functions and forms, maybe. So those two things that will support each other. So you cannot miss those two. So you just cannot say that my software will be successful as long as I write the code, and I'm pretty sure that the codes work perfectly. It doesn't warranty that the product or the software will be successful, because if you just mention or uh, care about the functions only, then there's this a possibility that the function is just there, but your users do not know how to use that functions. And this is the points of, actually, this is even the primary points of our course. So we need to support these functions. We need to support these features by kind of make sure that I may say this, the proxy helping or the bridge helping the users to be able to utilize that functions is there. So, or in other words, when you say these functions in your work, in your report, you only fulfill half of the affordance, because affordance, as I said last week, should contain two elements. Can you still remember that? What did I say? What are those two elements? The one is this feature, okay? Or I use another phrase for that, which is the properties of the object. And what is the second half? Another. Yes, from the user's perspective. What is specifically?
User's interaction.
User interaction, closer interaction, another word. You forget. That's okay. The keyword is capability. So you have a objects property and users capability. Okay, those two should exist in the interaction. When you talk about interaction, that should be one side story. Okay, you cannot say just functions. You should also think about your user's perspective, the agent side. So the capability of agent does matter. For example, I'm sorry to give you, maybe this is a bit rough, but hopefully this works. So imagine you have this mouse with you, right? So you have this mouse. Can you use this mouse? Operate this mouse, all of you? Yes, you can. And yes, I am. I can also operate this. Now imagine that you have a disabled friend. And in this case, specifically, he doesn't have arms, both arms. Do you think that the interaction will occur between those users, disabled person with no arm, with this mouse? No. Can you understand that? If we speak about the functions, it works perfectly. The mouse works. So there's no problem with the mouse, the properties of the object. But when we speak about the capability of the agents, only non-disabled person or regular persons will do and can utilize this software. I'm sorry, this device, because they're capable to use their hands, to put their hands in here and then move the hands, etc., to operate this device. But unfortunately for our disabled friends, they are not capable for doing that. Thus, but I think the reason the mouse is here, not for the user or any people to operate it. That is not the primary goal. Do you use mouse just for moving the mouse? No. What is your goal? For example,
To interact with something.
in your computer. For example, you want to select files, right? Or you want to drag and drop some objects on the display, right? So that's the goal, right? Or you want to double click and to open files, right? That's the goal. Now imagine that you have a disabled person with the same goal. Is it possible for them? Is it possible for him or her to achieve the same goal? No, with the mouse, but there should be something else. You can give them some other options to achieve the goal, right? For example, using voice input, right? There should be many ways. Well, why does the voice input work in this case? Because this disabled person can still speak. They are capable of speaking and moving their mouths and give it. And so you need to consider about the user's perspective. So that's basically the point. When you build any applications, you should not only care about your features, the properties of the object, but you also need to think about your users. How are their conditions? Especially when you need to build a solutions for disabled person. So it's about inclusivity. This is quite trendy nowadays. It's a popular issues. So we need to build many things inclusively, not only for normal people. But let's say, okay, I want to basically build this not for disabled person. I don't want to build, for example, navigation system on my car, in my car, for disabled persons. This is specifically and has to be for normal person just like us. But in that case, can we just neglect the capability of agent? Just focus on the features or the properties of the object? The answer is still no. I give you some examples. Suppose that you are suppose that you drive a car. If you drive a car, is it okay? Or maybe let me start with the question of, is it possible for us to swipe the screen, your phones, your mobile phones, select the buttons, have some interaction, even maybe writing on the tablet, etc. while driving? Is it possible? It is possible, but it's not safe. It's dangerous. So in this context, when we are driving, we are not capable of manipulating, for example. So the context will the capability in this case is contextual. So it's not something that we can see this all the time. So it depends on the task that that occurs. Okay. So when you drive a car, that's why when you, for example, you want to build a specific map navigations for Gojek, for that Gojek riders, Gojek drivers. Actually, the best way to do that should be some interaction that should be less require touch. So it should be a lot of like voice input, for example. I don't know. We need to do some research about this. This is the job of interaction designers. So later in your own project, you will need to really understand the context of use of your solutions. So how is the condition of your users during that moment? Is he capable doing this? Is he capable doing that, etc.? Is he incapable doing this and that? And that should be part of your consideration while designing your user interface. And then we come with this. So my comments to you, basically, you need to add up the user's perspective in your sentence. Or maybe you can also rewrite this part more like just like the properties of the object. If you find some still kind of difficult, then you may need to find more examples, good examples of how affordance should be, and you can find it anywhere on the internet. Hopefully that they can guide you, or maybe you can start with the GPT. Give it a try after this.
So we not only just we put the function, we need to put also the why and also how and also the examples.
Or maybe you can revisit my slides, the last week's slide. I put the explanation. I think it's just, I believe that it should be clear. So the last week's slide, it should be there. So you need to just give it a check and try to rethink or rewrite in a way that I recommend. So the slide is in, oh no, not yet. Is that? I haven't yet put it there. My bad. My bad. It's not here yet. Oh yeah, I forgot. That's another class. Sorry. So maybe you can check on this recording. This part. So this is affordance. So these two together should be in your sentences when explaining when you explain about the affordance number one, because that could be multi affordance that you may find in a product. But if you just want to focus on one product, that's also fine for me. As long as long as that one example or that one thing that you bring up is correct. Okay, it's not necessary to write down a lot of affordances, but if you can put many, and I still can help you to check whether it's correct or not. and and these are maybe give you some better understanding about the difference between affordance and signifiers. And later, actually, in this course, in our today's meeting, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to share the screen. So please have a check on this meeting recordings, okay? Uh, I will check the slides. Maybe I can put it here as well later, so you can also check the slides. But okay. And can you reshare your signifiers part? Because fun fact, some of your signifiers are actually the feedback that we would like to talk about today. So that's not signifiers. That are those are some of them are feedback. So for example, a chat tab button to open the chat. So signifiers, as I mentioned last week, is it can be visual, it can be auditory, and usually it is in the form of text, it is in the form of symbol, icon, symbol, some representation that's easy to understand. It embodies some metaphor, something that is based on previous user experience. Okay, and this chat tab button to open the chat, maybe I catch your point in here is I have this chat icon. So that's chat icon is the signifier. Okay, so that's basically should be so number one is I say this correct. Okay, from hints and squared borderline indicating a from field. This is also signifier. That's correct. A paste button on the AI generator signifies the copyable code. A paste button on the AI generated code signifies the copyable code. So after having this, we can right click and click copy. Is that the thing?
Yeah,
Or
just like in
this is after you paste.
no, like when we ask like AI like ChatGPT or something, when they response with the code, there should be like a paste button. Not, I'm sorry, not paste. It should be a copy button.
So it's not it's not paste button,
Yeah,
but
it
it's
should be
copy button. Yeah, if the case is copy button, 1, 2, 3 are all of them are signifiers. Grayish code which signifies the code is autocomplete. Is already autocomplete or is autocomplete able?
It's
So we can autocomplete it.
yeah, we can autocomplete it. We can
Well,
use it or not.
grayish code. Oh, this is gonna be yet another signifiers. The commented instruction signify that AI generated the code. Yes, this is okay. This is signifiers. Also, all of this is are signifiers. Then, do you have a next slides for this?
Oh no,
No. So this just this.
this
Okay. A floating button of Copilot appears after selecting the code, signify that it can fix or explain the selected code. Maybe just this one that is considered as feedback. My point is, the difference between signifiers and feedback. Signifiers are there to indicate how users should interact with a system. So it kind of to trigger action from the users. It triggers action. Okay. Feedback is to inform about the outcome of users' actions. So after doing things, and then the environment of the application or the software will give some feedback, and that will give some response, then that is considered as feedback. That's not signifiers. And in the case for number 6 is a feedback. If you check again the context. Okay, so again, signifiers is to guide users towards action. Feedback is to communicate the system responses. Signifiers precede user actions. Feedback follow user actions. Signifiers are visible before interaction. Feedback is visible after interaction. Okay. Signifiers may require user interpretation, like understanding whether this icon means save, this icon means for copy, etc. Feedback should be something that is more direct. Usually, you cannot just provide icon for feedback. You should provide a full sentence textual information usually for feedback, if any. Or if the case is auditory, then the system should speak completely in a complete sentence about what just happened. So you cannot just give like dangerous icon and that's it. People will confuse. So usually like that, because it will kind of give the user a confidence whether their actions are done properly or not, whether their goal is achieved or not yet, etc. So that's the feedback. And later we will talk about again, or maybe we do not need a special session for discussing about the feedback. Let's see, maybe we can also discuss about the feedback cycle just right after you present your findings. Thank you, Rizky. Now we can move to another student. Maybe I will need to just check the my test classroom. Please join the Zoom meeting so that you can share your screen. Mikhail?
Hello.
So, wait, where's my let me pause this first. Check.
Oh, do
Check. Another. Okay.
Hello.
Wait. You may start.
Well, I didn't have any.
You can
things.
open
your
submission. That's okay.
Yeah. I just write the things and then I think some of them are wrong anyway. So
Let's see.
I mean, I think some of the parts are okay. Like, well, there's like an indicator whether it's like a. So the thing is like a music recommendation that requires like some kind of a sensor that senses your mood, right? So
Can you remind us again about your problem domain?
yeah, it
Oh,
basically like it
okay.
recommends, and then like if you feel some kind of emotion,
Is it like a Shazam?
I,
Do you still remember about that application?
I don't know. I have never used that application. Really?
Any of you have you heard about Shazam?
I use several times.
Use a lot. This one. I think it's acquired by some other company. Is that Spotify? I'm not sure.
Still in standalone. Standalone. All right.
Do you know this?
I think I've tried it once, but like I forgot about it, so I have
Okay.
no
Then
idea.
you should try.
Yeah, I should try. I should
I
try.
tried to find something that is not there. And you can put it here. And that's fine, because you just propose an imaginary.
Yeah, imaginary. Yeah, put sensor here, and then like, oh yeah, like sad, and then like, oh yeah, yeah. So I think like the thing here is that either I have like two possible ways of doing this. Either like user puts like one music, and then like after that the thing goes search for more.
Can you highlight the parts that you are talking
This one,
now? Okay,
this
that
one,
would be helpful. Okay.
and then like and then the application basically like finds music similar to that like does the I don't know how it does that. So yeah, it relates the song to current mood, and then like that may have a similar effect or something like that. Or uh there's no input, you just know you feel sad, you press the button, and then like, oh yeah, here's the song, and then it plays by itself. Yeah. So I think the one here, I think that is considered as an affordance. It's probably where is it? The button, user needs to know information. Yeah, how to play the music in the first place in the application. So like a button in the middle to play the music, probably, and then there's the picture to show if what the user is feeling right now. So like, the user needs to know like what they're feeling, and like if the application is like uh accurate or not. It's like, oh yeah, I feel this today. Or like, okay, I checked the application and like, oh yeah, I feel sad. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. And then like, and then it and then of course, I think to differentiate, use like different colors. I don't really know if like there's a way to like add like, I can only figure out like, oh yeah, blue is sad, yellow is happy. But like, I think there is a possibility of like having more complex words to explain, but like that way the users will be less understand, or like making it like uh a gradient instead. I don't know. And then of course a place to show where the current music is playing. Like, oh yeah, this is the current music that I'm playing right now. Yeah. And like the first one is like an audio and visual indicator whether or not the sensor is activated or not, like what's that, like those wireless what's that, earphones, like usually like they have like noises to like tell you whether or not it's connected or not. I feel it's like something like that, but like add like a visual indicator to like add if it's like the battery is low or not or something like that. I think it has that. Like it exists in those types of wireless devices, like earphones, like wireless. Yeah.
Okay, so that's all. Well, I think for the case of Ritzy, I can still imagine that, because all of those things that you mentioned are to the user interface, I think, right? So it's still kind of imaginable. But for Mikhail, because your solution requires not only just one device, right? So
It
you have
requires
you need to provide two devices, the sensors for the emotions, right?
Yeah.
And also the earphones, maybe the earphones.
Oh no, the device the one playing the music in the first place.
Do you think that that your users is satisfied with those settings, with such settings? You just have the sensors and then hearing some music from laptop. Do you concentrate on the laptop in this solution?
Oh, I just don't write it here. I think
Is it laptop?
yeah, laptop or like just your phone.
Just your phone.
Yeah.
And you just use the speaker for emitting the sounds.
I mean, it could also be implicitly implied that you can use like earphones as well. Yeah.
Yes. In my opinion, that's fine if you can be more specific. It's fine to have a finite solution. So it's like a just tell the users this is the best practice to
Oh,
achieve the solution, to enjoy the solutions at most. So I recommend you to have a earphone or even maybe a headphone, for example. So if that's really the case, because maybe for your case, the user should be more specific. I believe that the user persona in years is narrowed down, so it's not for all people. But it's just like for some guys that are very sensitive, maybe like they really need some tools that can understand their feeling and then respond to that, giving the music accordingly. So I think it's not that. It's not all people.
I try to make it like very general.
Yeah, I don't think it is for general people, right?
Yeah.
So and then that's fine. That's fine. It is good if you have a very specific market for your solutions later. But then you need to really consider about their persona, their profiles. How do they behave when they use your solution as an? You should detail it very well. Okay, and the one of the benefits of having affordance is actually to make something that is non-tangible like this. So our idea is just in our imagination, right? And to make it more concrete, we need to list out every device that we may need to provide, right? And let's say that in this case right now, it's kind of you confusing whether is it should I recommend to use laptop? Should I recommend to use mobile phone? Or what kind of sensors that I should provide in which what is the form factor of that device or sensor, etc. It's hard to specify those things without any boundaries, without any specifications. Okay? And those affordances will help you to define those specifications.
So it needs to be more specific, and then like
Yes. And actually, you have done it quite well in some of the centers. For example, a button built in the device to play music automatically. My suggestion here, as I also suggest to Risky, you should put the sentence into perspectives. Half of the sentence or half of the one clause representing the properties of the object, which is the button. There is something that is pressable or afford. There is something, or even also just directly say there is a button that affords for the user's hands to press, and that's good enough actually. As long as in your sentence there are properties of the object, the user the button are afford to be pressed is a properties of the object by the user's hand that is capable of pressing that buttons. Okay, so by having those full sentence, then you can imagine that okay, so those things should be kind of like this. So later your next step will be doodle the device. You may doodle your interaction.
Yay.
And that's just one part, right? A button is built like a pressable, and if it's pressed, then it will play music automatically. And then playing music automatically is feedback because that comes after the interaction. Okay. And how to ensure that the users know that there is a button there, there's a signifier. Maybe in that button, you need to put
a play
that
icon.
notes, that block notes
Yeah.
icons.
Yeah.
So that is a signifier.
Okay.
And how is about the color? Or do you need to put a extra text close to the button? Those are signifiers. So by have those collections of affordance and signifiers, later then you can doodle the complete picture of your solutions. Can you understand that? For the case of Risky, it's like he was doing the reverse engineer. So he already got the full picture, and then it's like analyzing the elements. So this is the affordance because the solutions are imaginable for many people actually because this is 2D interface. But for your case, because maybe it's gonna be a new thing, a new mechanism, right, to interact with the solutions, then you cannot do the reverse engineer. It would be better you can do the forward engineer. So you list everything with respect to the affordance and then the signifier that's necessary, and then some of the feedback, the things that come after the interaction. Try to do that. So you need to be more verbose with your paragraphs, and then after that you can doodle the solutions. So that's my suggestion to make this essay, this report better. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for Mikhail report? Yeah. Thank you. Now I can stop yours. Share your
Screen share. Let me see. So it's gonna be the next. Wira. Do you want to use slides or just? Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong question. Do you want to use your own microphone or? Okay, good. Give it a try.
Test.
Great. It's audible.
So I didn't make any PowerPoint. I'm just reply it to my previous answer. So for your information, I have a misunderstanding with the meaning of affordance and signifiers. So I was taught that affordance means what you actually can do with the application, and the signifier is what your brains think about what you see and what makes you think about the application and what makes you want to do it.
Can you repeat your definition of affordance? I think it's already correct. So you said that what we can do, right?
Yeah, so the affordance is what you can actually do, like pressing the button or touch anything. The signifier is from your previous experience based on the application that you use. It means that, oh, I think I can press this, I can press that by those interface. So what makes your brain think about it? I think I misunderstood.
I think that's also a correct understanding. That's a correct way. Which is just from a different
Perspective.
way of thinking. Yes, that's correct. And actually, it's from this. For example, your first affordance. I believe that you can also make it like, and you can also break it down to the two elements that I mentioned: the properties of the object and the capability of the agent.
Okay.
Right? Like users can type. That's a capability of agent.
Yes.
Users can touch. Maybe you need to specify even better. Touch using their hands, using their fingers, right?
Yeah.
Swiping using 2 fingers or just 1 finger. So you need to be more specific.
Okay.
And then the icon is pressable.
Yes.
Yes, the icon is pressable, or the screen itself. I think if you
say touch, it means that, or swipe is nothing to do with icon.
Oh no, it's like you can swipe the web page.
Or I suggest you to just separate those capabilities.
Okay.
If you can type, if users can type, and what is the counterparts? What is the properties of the object that is relevant to that type?
Okay.
This is going to be different. You cannot merge it together.
Mm.
Yes. But yeah, that's usually the understanding is correct. And indeed, in my presentation, there's a clear sentence. I said that affordance is about what things we can, what any things that we can do with this object is affordance, right? Any
Yes.
possible things,
Yes.
any possible way that we can do with this object, and then the signifiers more like a where or specifically how to achieve this type of interaction. Yes.
Okay.
So in the signifiers, you can just mention in specific what icon and what is the meaning.
So I should make like every icon. What does it mean? How does it interact?
Yes, in your prospective applications in those digital hub.
Okay. So shall I redo this? I reply again and
Yes, yes.
Okay.
The same, just like others.
Okay.
Plus, I think you do not need to edit your post, your reply. Just reply it again, so you can have like the history of your understanding. That will be better, so you can know how to track the mistakes, etc.
Okay.
And later, maybe you can also let me think. Or maybe in the another forum. I will decide it later whether we should create a new forum or not to insert the feedback cycle, because I was thinking that Rizky just put his feedback in here, so maybe just gonna put it here. So I don't think this is good enough. But let me decide later. Okay. Is that all, Wira?
Yeah, I think that's.
To say okay.
I think there nothing more to say because I just misunderstood for.
Yes, and you may doodle it. It's just risky. So also you may doodle it, even though it is certain that your solution is a 2D app, but still you need to kind of have a rough sketch about what you are about to create. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Do you have any question for Wira? No. Good. Oh, it's a 4:30 already. All right. Now, can we go with Franklin?
Yeah, I also didn't prepare presentation, so I'm just gonna
No problem.
screen share the reply. And I also didn't make a doodle, so I should do that as well for the next session. And I think looking back at what I wrote, I added something, but maybe I can explain it when I say about it in the affordance. But my first affordance was to have a real-time product demonstration via TikTok streams. So users see the products in action and get a better understanding of the features, description, and usage. The second affordance is the translation for the text. So if I as a user would text something to the worker, it would be for him in his language and for my still in the language I wrote it in. The third affordance is the other way around. So the worker would talk and the subtitles would be given on the screen for the viewer in their preferred language. And the last affordance was something that was added because I've added something. So for example, I was looking at a product and the TikTok stream is just online. And for example, you would see the TikTok stream and you would be interested in the product as well. You could also look at the TikTok stream and you could suggest your question towards the initiated user for them to ask it to the worker. That makes sense. So for example, I am watching this remote and you ask something. You also want to know something about a remote, even though you did not initiate the stream at all. You could still ask the question and I would get some notification where I could initiate it.
Okay, let's play a role. Let's play a role play.
Okay.
I'm the seller.
Yeah,
So
you're
I
the
tell
seller.
this remote control.
Yeah, for example, I want to know what
This
the
is the video.
I want to know how you would use the record button.
Okay.
How would you record
Okay.
something?
Yeah.
And for example, you
I'm now still explaining about the microphone, for example. So you want to ask this, right?
yeah, right. So you're demonstrating things and I would see the text, your speech on my screen.
Yes.
For example, you are also watching the stream by any chance, but you want to know how what the dimensions are of the remote. So instead of that you have the immediate option to also ask questions, you would ask your question, you would send it. However, you would not see it until I, as the initiated user, would open up his comment and approve it or disapprove it.
Also, you
Because-
are the administrator.
Well, in that case, I am, if it is sort of interested enough for me to
Oh.
also be like, okay, that could also be interesting for me, I'll ask it. Because if everyone would ask questions to the worker, or maybe I have to prioritize it in a way,
Because you are kind of
the starter of the whole session.
Yeah.
So now I think about it, could also be some prioritizing way, but anyway, my last affordance is about that.
okay.
So there would be community interaction feature where other viewers can suggest something, but the user that started the chat itself has to approve. Well, that are my 4 affordances. And then my signifiers would be to open up the real-time product demonstration via TikTok stream. Yeah, there would just be an icon shown on the product page, mostly probably in the picture of the product itself. So it would be close by where you would look at. The second signifier would be to give you the option for a drop-down menu, or you actually, well, you are kind of mandatory to give your preferred language, or it has to be a default language. But this could be a drop-down menu where you could select your language, which is, I guess, supported. But if it is if it is made with AI, I would assume all languages would be supported. Don't know.
Yeah. Assume that.
The third signifier. Yeah, okay. So since the user needs to get the subtitles of the speech of the worker, the signifier would be a graphical user interface layout where you would have a clear understanding as the user what text box would be for the subtitles and what text box would be for your questions or maybe even the other viewers' questions. And yeah, so for the fourth signifier, for the community one, you would probably have something like either blinking or maybe, yeah, okay, I should make here demonstration for it. But anyway, something that isn't too 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 important, but at least you would see that something is getting suggested. And then a last signifier for overall could be just a quick tutorial for all the signifiers or all the affordances for anyone that is new to it. So yeah, you would just see a pop-up, you can click next and it would just tell you what is what. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's still this is cool, and I believe this is something that's never been found in our life so far. So it's quite imaginary. So later, the doodle will help a lot.
Yeah.
If you want to really in the future want to implement this. In addition to that, I was thinking that it would be better if you separate the affordance and the signifiers into two groups for just for your case, because your users are there are two types of role in your domain. You
Yeah,
have
the initiated or the suggested or the
consumer and the buyer and the seller.
Oh, okay, the buyer. So yeah.
You should also think about the streamer, the seller. So the UI side for the seller should also be supported. You should want to design that as well.
Yeah.
So this should be separated to make it clear, right? And for the case of Wira and Rizky, do you only have one role in your domain? Just one, because there's only one person using. Yeah, just one role. So that being used is just one. Your case is now here. So it's more like users. Or maybe you can also assume that you should also provide. Maybe there's some specific way for the doctor to interact with the app as well. So I mean, like the customers for the few the yes, supposed to be, even though like in many cases we only care about the patients, but I think we should also take care of the doctor's part. How's about you? Your case. I don't think anyone. I think because like it's user and AI interaction. Can you remind me again your it's like coding copilot? Oh yeah, just once. Yes, just one. Just one row. Okay. One row, two rows. So you need to separate the analysis for each. Okay. And you can be more detailed when talking. Oh yeah, you mentioned about the icon already. Drop down. On top of this digital user interface, you use a graphical user interface, right? In many of your features. How is about? But I'm not yet. I so far I still cannot think any specific non-graphical user interface as the elements in your interaction, but maybe there will be some. Do you also propose like using voice or whatever?
Don't think I mentioned it.
Oh, spoken communication.
Yeah,
but it's for the just for the subtitles.
Yeah, right.
Okay. In today's TikTok application, the streamer as you said, the streamer can only read the comments, right? The living comments. They cannot hear the customer's voice, and the application does not allow that. Maybe I don't know whether you have a concept of initiator whatsoever. You just mentioned that. Does it mean that it is possible to also include the voice interaction, the auditory interaction on top of the GUI? But it should be with some specific procedures. There should be something that allows the customers can do that. Maybe just, for example, the top fans of this streamer, or if the customer or the viewers give like lions, that stickers paying you, give some stickers, etc. And then you are allowed as a customer, you are allowed to speak with it, and then there's some communication there. That would be fun. That would be cool in my opinion, and give like a privilege for privilege or extra benefits for the customers that pay for those interactions. And
Okay.
you may design something like that also in your solution. So there's gonna be something that more than GUI, something that's more than graphical user interface included in the interaction. Give it a try.
Yeah.
Give it a
Okay.
try.
I'll try indeed.
Why did I mention this? Because based on my personal experience, not me actually, when I saw my mother in the market and tried to see the products, the stuff, and speaking with the sellers, there's some interaction, right? Now, what is it? But maybe there's some silent viewers in the same area, in the same spots. There's some
If you just take a look and hearing about or listening up to the explanation of the sellers, but maybe there's somebody that really wants, very curious about, oh, I want to ask it. And it is possible, right, in the real life scenario. So when you buy things in the actual market, in physical market, so maybe we can try to manifest that. That could be kind of interesting. If that is the case, then maybe you also need to research. Maybe there should be some additional devices instead of just smartphones that will support those interactions. But I don't know. But if not, then just utilize the speaker and microphone from the smartphones, the primary devices used in this context. Do you have any question for the case of Franklin?
For me, it's like if it's like voices, right?
Yes.
What will happen if there's like a lot of voices at once? That will be like overwhelming. But
That's the challenge. That's the challenge that I give to Franklin. Because that's gonna be terrible if everybody speaks. So that should be some, like when somebody speak, there should be some signifier or visual feedback appear on the screen, and it will stop anybody else to interrupt. So some mechanism should appear, should be there. That's the challenge.
okay.
I think that this is not an easy task to.
Just wanted to add to the voices part. I think in Indonesia, the internet culture is there is a lot of online trolling as well.
Trolling. Right.
So I think it would be even a bigger challenge since there is a possibility of like online trolls. And sometimes they're not afraid to use their money. Just to troll people.
Yeah. Okay. True.
And maybe I can have some follow-up question. Is it possible in the market that buyers troll the sellers in the actual markets? It's possible,
I
right?
think it has happened.
It's still possible
Yeah.
also.
The competition, the rifle of the seller, maybe.
The rifle of the sellers. So suppose that that's not actually somebody that would like to genuinely buy the products. So it's just like the competitors coming into the conversation and try to troll. Well, yeah, but okay. That's another homework. Just please do your first homework first.
Yeah, okay, I will see what I will.
That's quite interesting. All right, thank you very much. There's no more comments. I need to give the last.
I think it's oh no, we still have two presenters, right? Okay. Now I will stop your screen, Franklin. So I think it's Yusuf. I think it's Yusuf. Where's my desk password? Yeah, Yusuf. Affordances, you're going to be the last presenter. Okay. Do you want to open your microphone, your own microphone? All right. Yes.
Tes. Is it?
Let me check.
Hello. Tes. I think it's not quite clear. Maybe I need to speak
I'm just
louder.
gonna use this microphone.
Okay, may I start?
Yes.
Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everybody. My name is Muhammad Yusuf Haidar Khairullah with NLP 0511 and 4200022. And this is about my assignment about the Affordance signifier of my project, which my selected project from the day one, which is about integrating phone devices to shopping to reduce the waiting time during shopping. And so with everybody else that I'm still not quite honest exactly what about is it about what is the affordance, but I kinda do some little dig searching and also, but it's still not clear. But well, I do my best about what kind of affordance I use. So this is about the system. It's if I may remind you all that it's about an RFID reader and then an RFID tags on the product for automatic shopping. Like, so there is an RFID tag on the product, and then the user just put the item on the trolley, and then it counts toward the application, and also the cloud server of the store. So this is the trolley door to prevent the an accidentally when kind of for example, if they wanted
So
to
it
think
is a door. I thought
yes
it's a car.
yes
Okay.
for the trolley door. Sorry for the poor
Because it's
drawing.
like, I saw this SIM. It's like a SIM card, like a chip.
I wanted to draw the barcode, but I cannot. So I just can. But so in the trolley door, in each of the trolley door, there is a barcode for the user to scan the
RFID reader.
to
Well,
sync with the app. So like
Is this the RFID part?
oh no, the RFID reader is inside. I did not.
Inside the trolley.
So this is the door, and then the trolley there is an
Okay.
RFID reader.
Maybe
When
one of your homework is gonna be drawing the full trolley, because
yes.
I cannot imagine. Is this on the top of the trolley?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you need to give us the full picture of the trolley, so we understand the setup.
So actually, trolley is just a normal trolley that you can see on
Alright.
on the store, but
I can
and then the door like this. So it is like a not a complete crack like of hinge that apa menjorok ke dalam apa so this circle part, half circle part.
Understood.
It's like the their shape is like
Oh,
this.
I see.
It's not in incomplete rectangle, incomplete
Yeah.
apa namanya itu with this. So this is the like the affordance that you know the user can pull it upwards because it is a lid. So they can open it upwards to open the trolley door and put the item inside it. And then the signifier is that there is a in trolley there is scan start shopping. So
Hmm.
this barcode is sync reader on the trolley. There should be kind of like trolley one, trolley two, trolley three, etc. And then when the user scan the barcode, it indicates that the current trolley is occupied, so it will not. That is the one that is the user using in the app, and then second, and passive RFID tag on the product to when so that when the product is put, it automatically detects it on the trolley, and then it's also added to the cloud server of the store and also shown in the app to also an added security to so that uh, the product is actually synced up with the store and then also the app. And then on the payment point, there's like pin with when the user enter, there is this the entrance to read the there is also an RFID tag on the trolley so that to indicate it which trolley is it, and also to show it the amount of that needs to be paid on the screen in the phone, and then the cloud. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that the cloud is updating in real time the inputted product, and it is also shown in the app as well. The QR code on the screen for the user to scan, and then it gives. I think this is a feedback
Mm-hmm.
of the screen Affordance, which is
Yes, that check mark is feedback indeed.
it's uh, text pay here.
Pay here, scan to pay
Scan
is yes, both of them are signifiers. Agree.
And it's just the RFID scanner on the entrance of the payment point to scan the trolley that and then to also show the total payment and indicate that the user has complete shopping, and then uh, will other item will not be added, and then to stop apa as a safe mechanism to that the value of the product the total cost is cannot be changed anymore. So this is just a rough sketch because I cannot draw it. So it's just like this uh, door security door when you it is only open one way, then without open, and the avoidance is there is an LED lights that indicating that the door is open or not, so that the user will know that the door is open and also the payment is success.
Mm-hmm.
And then the signifier said that it's ring something sounded
So it's feedback.
oh yes, I think that's a feedback. Oh yeah, that is a feedback.
Yeah,
Oh
if,
yeah, see that
if
one
that is if that comes after the
Oh
interaction,
yes,
that is feedback. If it's
um, as- wait,
that's okay. So we learned today a lot.
So this is just kind of like the simple icon on the app. So like there is the trolley and then there is this three four one two three four uh line what is it L shape on this, and then this the trolley and then also a text, a signifier that's trolley scan. And then there is shopping is the clock icon to show the shopping history, and also the shopping history signifier. That is all for me.
Okay.
Sir.
I'm a bit confused about your trolley store. Let me confirm with you. That barcode, is that a printed barcode?
Yes, so
So
like
it's printed barcode.
this is for
You say barcode just like
barcode QR maybe ya. QR is more correct probably.
barcode is like
Oh yeah,
it's a
barcode
bar.
Yes,
So what is that actually?
it's a QR.
That's why I'm confused.
Yeah.
Oh, but
The confusion.
it's about but it's still kind of a printed materials on the door, right? So it's not
Because-
computer.
No,
So
no,
it's,
because
you do not kind of
because it's totally it doesn't change the QR because
so
it's-
why okay, despite the discourse of affordance and the signifier, we still talk about kind of the features of the possible interaction with the in the solution. So why does the customer require to scan the barcode?
it's to sync with the RFID scanner on the trolley. So when the user put the item, it's also added to the app.
Actually, we have those kind of QR code. There should be smartphone, for example. We utilize the camera and then
Right,
scan the
that is
QR
right.
code.
So
So does it mean that in your solution, in this package of solution, you require the users to open an app
use
Yeah.
app. That
on
there
a
is
smartphone, then using that app to scan the
scan the
QR code. And
the
after
trolley.
scan the QR code, did you write that situation, that scenario? So when the users scan the QR code using the smartphone.
Oh, the feedback on the app user scan. No, I did.
Okay. So yeah, I think you need
read the back.
to try to check again your explanation in here. Make sure that like even a detailed device that is required in here, just like smartphone. Even you may imagine that smartphone belongs to the users, but still you need to mention that in here. So we need to talk about the whole things, okay? Especially when those devices, when those apps were included or involved in this interaction, in this scenario. So you need to mention all of this. Otherwise, people may get confused just like me. It's like there is some missing pieces in your scenario. Okay. And more doodles, just like other. So we can get better at. I think all of your ideas are cool. Okay, something that genuine because that comes into from your own aspiration. But you still need to visualize it very well presented, and that's the challenge of many people, of designers, to provide materials that make the stakeholders understand about the ideas. Okay, so we learned that in this course. Okay, all right, thank you, Yusuf. It's about it's already 5 o'clock. I'm sorry for surpassing the time again. So the last presenter give the opportunity to Fauzan. You may share your screen. Do you want to use my microphone, or use yours? Give it a try to yours. Okay.
Is it audible, sir? Yep. Where is it? I cannot.
You need to click on here.
Yeah.
The title or that arrow. Yes.
I was trying to click on the arrow, but there's the Zoom
Oh.
interface.
Okay.
Okay, should I go back with my ideas? What is it? Should I re-explain my initial idea?
So it was read notation. No need. You can just go ahead with
Okay,
Affordance.
so I will just
Reading ingredients, right?
make it quick. Yeah, the ingredients and the
nutrition
nutrition facts. And I was actually I add another feature which where the users can input like allergies or preferred diet or
Mhm.
well basically uh something like their personal data that has something to do with their eating habits, so that this data could then maybe be processed so that when you scan the barcode, it will just what is it give you the nutritional fact and the ingredients, but also give
Some
feedback such as this product
personalized
has
recommendations.
yes
Whether
this
it's suitable for your
product
diet.
your what is it ingredients that you're allergic of like
Oh,
peanuts or
Give it with
this
different colors,
yes
so they will not, the user will
or
notice.
this what is it this product is not suitable for your diet right now, or this product has like more calories than it will like to consume today, something like that. So for users to put this data first, the first affordance would be that the users can type in or input data, and then the system should afford to receive and process the data for further outputs. And the signifier for this would be like an input, kind of like risky before with the prompt. What is it? Prompt box, I guess you would call it. And then the second would be that the users could use their cameras to scan the barcodes, and then the system should afford to take the data from the barcode itself. And the signifiers would be like when they what is it when the app open their camera, there should be like a barcode shape, not a barcode shape, like it an outline like big enough for it to fit in the barcode, so that is a barcode there. And then there should also be thing signifier for uh that they could tap to open of from the app, not from one camera app. Yeah, and I think that
Okay, something is incorrect with respect to yes the affordance. Maybe before I point that the way you use system should be replaced this word with something that is more specific. System is like you talk about the macro, the whole thing.
Yes.
Like say in this case you are talking about the capability of the users to type using their fingers. Then the things in here should not be system, let's say virtual or virtual keyboard plus the text box. It's gonna be the things that should replace the system in here.
Okay.
So you should be more specific. Otherwise, when I ask you draw your user interface now, you have no idea what should I write. So if you what should I draw in the doodle? But if you specify that like this is we should have a virtual keyboard that will afford the user what the users this is like a typable like like that. So it's gonna be more clear. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And another thing is actually when you say that afford to receive and process the data, it's like you are talking about the interaction between your app or your system, your solution with the not with the living agent, but with some other part of the system or some other part of application. Yeah. Because you mentioned here data. If you talk about affordance, blah 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 should afford to be pressed, should afford to be heard. So this is something that is directly related to the user's action. Okay, get it? So some of the sentences here should be revised. Yes. And here, I think this is actually the affordance, supposed to be. Kind of. And then if this is the affordance, the signifiers would be your input box should have, like, for example, placeholder. So that input box, and then inside that input box, you have type your name, type your blah, 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 the placeholder text that's the signifier. Okay, do you have any question for Jose's presentation? The same homework for all of you, okay? Doodle it, make it more detailed, and I will check it again next week. And we will talk about some of the feedback, but it's not actually the feedback cycle of the today's topic. I will cover that next week. The feedbacks cycle in a comprehensive way. Good afternoon. Assalamualaikum.